I'm Akil Bakari, community activist, organizer, entrepreneur, and can I kick it?
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can. Kick it.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
I'm Akil Bakari, longtime resident of Jackson, Mississippi. Actually grew up in Verdon Addition. My mother worked as a domestic. My father was a laborer. We had everything we needed. We were poor, but I just didn't know it. I had plenty to eat, and my clothes were clean. Growing up during those times, and this was coming up in the 60s and 70s, there was more of a community feel in our neighborhoods where older people would sit on the porch and watch the children while the younger adults went to work. It was a time when if you misbehave as children normally do, Miss Smith down the block could whoop you. Mr. Allen across the street could whoop you. In addition to that, they made sure they gave full reports to your parents when they came home from work, and so they could discipline you. There were tremendous role models in the community. Coming up, I was an only child. Across the street from me, there was a family of 4 sisters and 4 brothers. They were my adopted sisters and brothers. I literally grew up in their household. The father of that family was self-employed. He was a plumber. He had a very, very strong work ethic, as did my father. What I learned from those 2 men was, regardless of what they were feeling or how bad they were feeling, they always got up and went to work. That instilled a work ethic in me and also the children in that household that I grew up with. Coming up, I attended, at that time, it was Powell Junior High. It's called middle school now. And this was the early 70s. From there, it was the onset of integration of schools in Jackson, Mississippi. We were initially bused from Powell to Chastain in the second 9 weeks of the 8th grade. And again, there was meeting diverse cultures at that time. From there, we came back to Powell. During all of this time, school was very fascinating to me. I was always told, I was a very good student, but not as good as I could have been by the teachers. They said, you know, you're really squandering a lot of ability. I knew I could do the work, and I did do the work, but a lot of us do just enough to get by. And that's what I was told throughout my entire school career. I heard people say that it's very, very important that you get an education. It's extremely important that you get an education. An education will give you the wherewithal to accomplish a better life. I had people encouraging me inside the school system and in the neighborhood. They talked about, again, how important education is and how reckless it is to squander the opportunity to gain an education. Coming out, I had a rude awakening. I wasn't prepared once I graduated from high school to decide where I was going to go to college and what I was going to do once I got to college. I wasn't sure. I didn't have a clue. I looked around, and some of my peers who I knew were not going to graduate, some of my peers who did drop out, some people right on my street, some people that I was very good friends with. And I looked at their situation and thought about, what kind of life are they going to have? What kind of life can they build for themselves? And that scared me. And I talked to them about it. They didn't know. It's not cool to be smart. it's not cool to have a sense of what you want to do once you leave high school. I know it's extremely difficult now because children in the 21st century have access to so much information at such an early age, and that the pressures on them are tremendous. Children today get lost in these images, and sometimes they really make the wrong choices, and sometimes the pressure can be almost unbearable. But in our communities, it's very, very important for children to understand and young people to understand that we can move our way through this maze. They can actually succeed. There's also practical, everyday goals that they can attain. I chose information technology. Matter of fact, I have an information technology company. Now, I worked for 20 some odd years on a job before I was able to build and start this company. And the thing that I always harken back to in my youth was the fact that my father instilled the work ethic in me to work. The gentleman across the street, who was my second father, said, if at all possible, try to create your own employment. That way you can control more of what you do and how you do, and more importantly than that, you can create employment for other people. And those two ethics stuck with me throughout my life. I was once your age, and I know how difficult school can be. And I know sometimes you say, oh, well, what's the use? I mean, I could do something better and with my time, or I could probably make more money if I just left school and did something else. That's just simply not true. It's imperative that you stay in school, no matter how difficult it is. It's imperative that you do. Sometimes there's even some instances where you know that it's extremely difficult to get the information and the proper tutelage in school that you need. But somewhere within that school, there is something that you really need to get, and you need to stay in school to get it. That's the only way to get it. The only way. Now, it's my job and other people like me to help create the environment and in these schools that's proper for you to learn in. But you have to stay in school. There really isn't any other way to do this. We are in a highly technological, highly competitive global system, not just within Jackson, Mississippi, or even the US. We are in a competitive global society, and you have to have that rudimentary basic education from preschool through the 12th grade. You have to stay in school. Today's young people are probably the smartest that we've ever produced. They can negotiate the technology, today's technology and the fast pace. They grasp it within an instant. So I say use that. Use that innate ability that you have to generate income for yourself and create opportunities for others. But you can't do that unless you stay in school.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can.